Okay, I think we're live. I can see the numbers showing up. Okay, so we'll jump right into the intro. So each week I do a weekly update. So the updates for this week are this is the latest installment of the live streaming until I gain 2 to the X channel members, and this is for X equals 1. So last week we did 2 to the 0, which is 1, and this week we're doing 2 to the 2. So the goal is to get 2 new members by the end of the stream. So the updates for this week are, in case you didn't watch my other video, I'm still waiting for a date from the tenant board to know when the actual N13 merits hearing will be, and but I know it's not going to be before March 31st. So could be in April or sometime later. And during that hearing, we will argue the merits of the necessity of vacant possession for the extensive renovations, which may or may not result in eviction orders being granted. So the updates for this week are I finished the last favorite Linux command video, at least the last one that's going to be done for now, and that's going to be going out on February 13th. And I'll try to do more of those eventually, but for now, until I get some more long-form content out, I'm going to take a break from that series and maybe just do some here and there. Hopefully do more if time is available. And the other update is I finally published another long-form video this week, so that much better presented explanation of my most recent updates, and so if you want to know what the channel, what the revenue was from the last video over the last couple of months, you can check out that video. And in terms of videos, I'm going to return to working on the long form scripted content this week. So I was working on that, and then I got distracted by the fact that my hearing, I was pulled into a case management hearing, which was almost a month earlier, so I do pay attention to that for a bit. And the next update is on the fans. So if you've been following my fan replacement saga, I've been working on trying to get a replacement fan for my ThinkPad laptop since November 28th. I ordered the first one, and then they waited a week and said they don't have one, and eventually, so I ordered a second one. That one took like 45 days to get here, but it was actually supposed to be a new fan, but it's a used fan, so I'm going to try to order an actual new replacement fan. I ordered one a couple weeks ago, and after a week, they said, oh, we actually don't have one. So then they canceled the order. So then I ordered another one, and so this is the 4th fan I've ordered for this ThinkPad, trying to get a new fan replacement, going back to November 28th. And it's been a week, and it has not shipped. So we'll see. They may even cancel this one. Okay, so let's take a look at the chat. Skull GY, I'm first. KC says, hello, my friend. Give me attention. Well, there you go. All right, so I was able to get through the update items this week. There isn't a huge number of updates because I worked on the video most of the week. So I guess we can do some block mining simulation game. I think it was the last time I updated this. Starting an embedded flight software job soon. Any tips? Wish me luck. embedded flight software. So like for actual airplanes, I guess that's super high fidelity safety critical stuff. I've actually never done any safety critical development before. I took a bunch of courses in it, and I had ambitions. Maybe I should get like a professional engineering certification and all that kind of stuff. But I never ended up going down that path. Embedded flight software. In terms of tips, other than my, I can just kind of throw at you some of the like MISRA C standard and all kinds of this different technical standards and stuff like that. But honestly, I'm not really the right person to ask for. You'll probably learn better on the job what kind of stuff you need to look into. Hello, friend. Are you the man from the? This is my favorite Linux command. Yes, that is indeed me. Any new female friends? No, it's been pretty much work the last couple of weeks. Why Java? Writing something like this in C is not because there's like lots of string manipulation and stuff. I really doesn't make sense. I've written enough C code and done string manipulation in C to realize that it's just not the right language to use for a project like this. Technically, there are some things we have to do calls to kernel interfaces that are not available. They're not cross-platform available. So I have had to write some C and include a JNI library in this. Are you using a VM? Nope, not right now. Hey man, love your channel and your content. Keep it up. Thank you for the kind words. Hey dude, congrats on last video. It sure blew up. You deserved it. Yeah, it's I'm pleasantly on the ranking. It's a number 1. So I'm glad that that one seems they're still getting views because of course it's whenever you put out stuff on YouTube, there's the implication. Sometimes you put something out there and you're like, I wonder if it, like the algorithm changed or something, and suddenly the views are going to be low. But I'm still in the algorithm for now. Why the ums and ahs? I'm not sure. Not sure exactly what you're asking by that question. Just finished your hour-long video and the updated one. Wish you luck on YouTube. Thank you for the kind words. Hopefully you got some insights from that video. This time, don't talk about crypto. Yeah, I think if as long as someone is if as long as like a human, I don't mind actually talking about crypto. Last time, so the I guess for those of you who have not seen, I started a series back in, I think it was November, live streaming until I get X dollars in super chat, and I just doubled it each time, and I got up to 1,024. So this time I'm doing live streaming until I get X number of channel members, and so this time the target is 2, and so next time it'll be 4, and then it'll be 8, and I'll keep going that way. Kitchener is the place to be to meet elderly singles. Yeah, it depends which type of elderly singles you want, but yeah. Robert, what's your favorite Windows command? I don't have one. Hello, good sir. My favorite window command is shutdown. That's a pretty good one. Any tips for front-end thinking to slowly move to full stack? Tips for a front-end thinking move to full stack. I would say if you're going to learn stuff, you want to actually get something out of it. So ideally, it depends what position you are, because the ideal thing is to learn on the job. So if you're at a job, if you're working already, that'd be an important question. If you're already working somewhere on that and you're working in front end, then I would say just ask for tasks that require some knowledge of the back end, or try to work on tasks that require that you actually interface with other people in the company who are doing the back end stuff, and then kind of slowly learn it through osmosis of just working in that environment. And then that way you're not, because if I just say like, oh, go study this framework, then you may study a certain database and then waste a whole bunch of time on it, and then you'll never ever use it in your career. And you could say, oh, you're still learning new knowledge and gaining skills and stuff with it. There's an infinite number of frameworks to learn, and you want to waste your time on something useful. I recently started my own business with a grant. Your video about entrepreneurship was good. I used to do a corporate 9 to 5, and frankly, I wish I had it again. Good luck on your business. It's easy, especially if you're getting like a grant. If you're starting the business on someone else's money, it's easy to spend other people's money, and especially when you start a business, you'll have to be careful about like I talked about, predatory consultants, and as soon as you even right now, if you say that, you'll probably get like some people. I mean, not in this venue, but if you announce stuff like that publicly, you'll get like people messaging you and being like, "Hey, I specialize in this. I can do some stuff for you," and then they'll come and they'll give you some work products and stuff. But anytime you advertise you have money, you'll get tons of messages from people who are like, "Hey, I can take some of that money off your hands." Who grep? Okay, I'm not gonna read all that. That's middle school humor for Linux commands. Can you give us cybersecurity advice? Probably not. I'm not. That's not really my expertise. I actually, honestly, I feel really out of date. I'm constantly learning about new things that exist that are. There's all these new, web browsers and all these security, all the types of software. Like, they seem to be adding new vulnerabilities faster than people can fix the vulnerabilities, and it's just it's hard to keep up with all the new features and protocols and stuff, and all the vulnerabilities in them. I'm a student. I'm learning the MERN stack. Am I wasting my time? I don't even know what that. So I know the lamp stack. That was what people talked about, and then people started talking about the mean stack, which was what was that? MongoDB and some other thing. I'm not even sure what the MERN stack is. I've been kind of unplugged from front end web. I mean, part of the reason I sat my frustrations in a lot of those videos about like there's so many new frameworks coming out, makes your head spin. And honestly, like after stepping back from that, I'm like, there's like a million things to step into. I would say if it helps you get the job, if you're trying to get a job for it, or it's directly relevant to your day-to-day work, then you're not wasting your time. But it's probably very easy to learn this stack. Like I learned the lamp stack. That was one of the first main stacks that I used. And I would say today, that's probably not, if you're going to learn something to jump back into it, the lamp stack is not the main thing. Like instead of, MySQL, you'd probably want to go with Postgres, and it's constantly changing. And I'm sure in a few years, whatever the MERN stack is, we won't be using that anymore. It'll be some other thing. What language are you using to make the game? It's Java. get so many people email me or message me on LinkedIn trying to sell me their services. It's very exhausting, but understandable. Yeah, that's just, it's like, if you just barely indicate that you have any money at all, you will get bombarded with people who want to, figure out some way that they can get some of that money in. And it's not even so much like they're not trying to scam you. It's just the like, hey, give me a contract so I can do the bare minimum. And they don't want work. They want a paycheck. They want a paycheck from you. Favorite hardware tools, multimeters. Those are pretty good. There's the right tool is whatever's right for the job. Sometimes it's just about having like that very specific tool that's in exactly a certain shape. Rob once showed his setup for his website, made for other tenants might be evicted. There were some nice security considerations there, like a VPN subnet and API gateway. Actually, I have I think I did that in a live stream. It was quite a while ago now. But yeah, if you want to do like some, that was almost kind of like an experiment. It was a thing I knew you probably could do, but it took a while. It took me a bit of time to sit down and just figure out how to get all the security rules working and stuff. Next stream, live stream until I gain 2 Bitcoins. That would probably take a while. How much is a Bitcoin? It's like $100,000 now or something. Mongo Express React Node. Express. That's Express.js. I'm already out of date. MongoDB. I assume that's what that's for. MongoDB. I've stayed away from the NoSQL stuff. MongoDB is a NoSQL database, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I've stayed away from anything NoSQL, and Express I have no experience, and also Node. But I know it's actually that whole stack, it's more like rapid prototyping. That's the benefit of that. But Node and Mongo. The benefit of NoSQL is it's just less work to set up. You don't have to think about the schema and stuff. But in my opinion, you actually gain something. It's a trade-off. You can, if you do less work to specify the interfaces, it's less work. But if you actually do that, if you specify all the constraints and stuff, then you can better detect constraint violations, and you can also things can be more optimized, and the query planner has more information to work with. Would love to know what you're making here. Looks like start of an RPG. It's this is my I have a dedicated video on this game. So this is my terminal-based block mining simulation game. So you press the M key to just spam that, and then you mine blocks, and they show up in your inventory. But it's my development work on this has been paused until I kind of finish up some of the other outstanding tasks. There's quite a few usability issues with it, but it's a work in progress. And my business model has just been like, whatever makes money, continue doing more of that, and then double down on it. And right now, the YouTube long form content is making most of the money. But eventually, I'll eventually return to this a little bit and put some more time and money into this, and then see if I actually get any more interest now that I have a few more subscribers. How do you know who wants a paycheck and Who deserves a paycheck? That's a very, very good question. I guess that's just equivalent to asking like who's going to be a good employee, which is there's lots that could be said about that. Schramper, there's a couple of bits about it. Are you looking for work? Not at the moment. Sorry, I meant to inform you of what MERN stands for. Personally, I prefer CoachDB in NoSQL, but I think very interesting that people use MongoDB in a framework orbit, so to use it if it was SQL. I've stayed away from MongoDB just because I've heard a number of times about it being like having like weird cases where it'll just like delete all your data, or it speeds up writes, but it's because it's like your writes go into some caching layer, and then if your database crashes, then you'll have like a corrupted database and stuff, and all kinds of like nonsensical things that we're supposed, like the whole point of data, in my opinion, the whole point of a database is to completely avoid stuff like that. Weird edge cases where it takes you lose all your data, and I think there are some use cases. I've just never encountered them in stuff I've done, but like I think storing if you have to store large amounts of ad hoc data, like analytics data or something, or like web traffic, I could imagine like a backend for something like Google Analytics, where it's taking in volumes of data, and if you lose some of the data, it's not a huge deal. That makes my initial question about moving to full stack more interesting. I might want to explore SQL, Postgres, as it might give me a deeper understanding of a constrained backend. SQL. If you want for any kind of backend, for any kind of database, SQL or like relational databases are like a very foundational thing, and they're never going to go away, unless they're replaced by something even more strong. But there's a lot of like if you look into like if you just Google for like theory of relational databases and like normalizing, denormalizing databases. What was his name? There was there's relational algebra and relational calculus. You can look up those terms, and there's a whole theory of like relational SQL, and this relates to how you can do like query optimization, and of course you have to write compilers that can actually compile and parse and compile the SQL queries and stuff. So there's it's a much more stronger and developed thing, and I think that most of the NoSQL stuff developed because it's just less work, and so there are some short-term performance gains, but I think it's I consider it NoSQL more of like a prototyping language, and anything that you have to start scaling that has to run very efficiently with like locking and stuff. Anything that runs at scale, I think, was mostly in relational. Unless it's something like I said with analytics, where it's okay to actually lose some of the data every once in a while. Reminds me of Caves of QUD and Dwarf Fortress, other mods. There's certainly a niche in there, so I wish you good luck on it. The initial idea is just to make it like a terminal. Like most of my content is when founded on like terminal-based type stuff. So I think it makes sense to start with the kind of the maximum, most focused niche, and then so the internals of the game. The whole idea behind the game is to make it so the user interface can be kind of generalizable. So you could have like a client that connects with the terminal, and then another client that say connects, and that one has like a 3D view, just like an actual, like Minecraft. What's your stance on AI LLMs? There's lots to say. Lots to say about AI and LLMs. I use AI for my daily posts. If you check my the community tab, how to make a CPU. You must be here from the how to make a CPU video. That one's trending quite a bit lately. TBH, I don't know anything about programming. I just like doing other things, listening to your videos. Your voice is nice. They're interesting, despite me only understanding 50% of it. Well, if you understand 50% of it, then you're within the target market. That way, you're continually expanding and learning. So, did you get the first one yet? No, I actually haven't. No new channel members so far. Vertbox is here. Famous reel. I understand nothing of this, but I'm here for it. That's good. I'm pulling some new people into software development and technology. In your long form videos, there's 2 pictures behind you, one of a man and one of a woman. Who did the art? Actually, if you go to blog. Actually, if you go to store.robertelder.org, you can buy I have some prints if you want to buy the prints, but also in that article, I think I actually have a link to the artist. So those are real art made by a human being, and it's supposed to be one's Alan Turing. I think that's probably not in the most recent videos. Alan Turing, Kurt Gödel, and the other one is supposed to be Ada Lovelace. But I also gave the instructions like make the portraits look like they're kind of anime. So they're I think the Ada Lovelace one doesn't quite look like her, but I still like them. They're nice. There's one person said he bought 2 of them because he just liked them so much. Today using Mongo makes no sense. Most relational DBs support JSON storage plus relational DBs have been king for a long time. I agree with you. I would not go for any NoSQL solution. Yeah, that's basically my opinion. But personally, like, my actual opinion is like, I am deeply skeptical if anyone considers like NoSQL at all. But of course, people do use it, so I try to be open-minded and like, okay, I can see there is, technically there's a case where it's better on some benchmarks, but and I think it's also like if you're writing like a throwaway project, if it's some just prototyping, then it's it probably is, it's faster, but the accumulation of technical debt is going to be much faster. What's happening in Canada with trade war? Canada trade war. I don't have a lot to add to that other than what's in the news. That's the thing with CoachDB. It has redundancy and is safely storage, unlike Mongo. Yeah, actually, another thing with I'm not sure if it CoachDB, but anything that's venture capital backed, I think CoachDB might be like there's a venture capital backed startup behind it. I think maybe even MongoDB as well. But any of those projects that are backed by a venture capital backed startup, I'm very skeptical about, because if we go through another change in the economic cycle, then those kinds of companies will immediately start to try to pull more money out of the project, or they may like shut it down completely, or there's all kinds of they'll pull all kinds of shady things if it benefits them. I mean, that's been an entire business model, is you start in like an open source project and give away something for free and get a whole bunch of users, and then once a whole bunch of people depend on it, then you sell like professional consulting on it, or create this like enterprise tier. There's like the free tier where it's open source, and then there's the enterprise tier, and that's a whole business model. And that is giving away software for free. It's a that works when there's lots of money, but when the money dries up from the market, then that's when they become more predatory. Minecraft mentioned. The only other notable game I can think of that uses terminal primarily is Space Station 13. It's just interesting. What you think is outdated can simply be a different way to play. Yeah, there's not many terminal-based games, so I think it's also kind of a unique thing. And I think it's a good way to start out with the development, because the user interface, there's a bit less work to develop the user interface. Things like graphics and stuff, you can kind of just not implement those or defer that to the future. Game is a bit like Dwarf Fortress 2. Yeah, that's a common assessment people make. But there's a game for that. There's a market for that. So NetHack, LOL. I'm not sure what that references in this context. Netherrack. That's not what's in the game. Those are just rocks. Or that one is. I guess it's the screen doesn't adjust. Then one of the next things to add to the game is make it so the inventory, you can actually scroll through it, because it's going off the screen now. A lot of ums. Can you edit your lives? Nope. That's why. That's the whole model for long form. You got to edit it and make it super polished. Get rid of all the ums. Reality hurts. I guess sometimes. The Kurt Gödel art looks like Trotsky. Actually, I'm not. There's a few people. I don't know if it's Trotsky. And there's another some Armenian philosopher or something. I've heard people say a few times. But they're like, "Oh wow, I didn't know people were interested in this famous Armenian philosopher." But it's supposed to be Kurt Gödel. What if big tech is laying off because we're maybe moving towards a decentralized versus globalized world? Makes one think. Big tech will lay off in response to whatever they see coming down the pipeline in the economy, but it's. I don't know. I think it depends what the government has in mind, and exactly how that'll manifest. I think we're just kind of going through the economic cycle right now. There a lot of companies are blaming the layoffs on AI, but I think it's not. AI is not the most important. That's just a scapegoat right now. I think there's and of course with the new administration in the U.S., that's going to rapidly change things. So it'll probably be a few months before we kind of know what the direction is going to be, where companies are going to allocate their money. Least depressed. Signals fan says hello. And Meter gives a clap. What is your favorite signal? I don't know what to say to that. I mean, you mean like signals intelligence or something to do with like signal processing or favorite signal? Oh, yeah, Linux signal. I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. The signal window change. That's a pretty good one. That's I had to implement for this. I had to list. Actually, that's what I use the JNI for. I listen for the signal window change to respond to that and redraw the screen. Sorry for not watching your dedicated video on your game, but what plans do you have for it right now? Are you working on anything for it at the moment? Currently, I did a release back in November, and there's a few issues with it. So one of the big things I added was I spent a lot of work to add like a windowing system. So now, so there's actually a help menu in the game, and I made this kind of generic so that I can have like the idea will be to have like a generically resizable inventory. So this exists kind of as there's a general windowing system, and eventually I'll maybe make some kind of interface features you can like resize these. Right now it's just the only window is just like you press escape, but it's in the code to be able to work with like 9 windows or something, and but it's on the to-do list, and my algorithm is if it makes money, then do more of it. And this game idea hasn't made a lot of money, but also I think my background is in software engineering, and from doing the consulting work, I always thought like the idea of building a game and making money off it is kind of like an insane idea that probably won't work. But I actually think it's a more realistic idea than bootstrapping a consulting business now. But of course, the big issue, one of the main big issues to starting a business is getting like marketing and getting some, inbound leads and interest and stuff. But I think the YouTube may actually be able to do that for me right now. And right now, YouTube is that's where most of the income is coming from. But YouTube may go away someday. So if I get banned, then I think it'll be important to have some diversity. But it's we'll see what happens. I'll maybe do another. I did a couple of Kickstarters for this game, and I raised like $100 or something. But if the next one can raise closer to $1,000 or something, then if it makes money, then I'll just keep working more on it. Would you rather be homeless or work a 9 to 5? I think you'd pick being homeless. I admire your persistence to avoiding 9 to 5s. Yeah, actually, I do kind of think I would I don't think I would ever actually end up like the homeless you see begging for change or something. But like living at this point, I really think I would just live off grid. I would find some way to survive that is does not. I'd go into live in a cabin in the woods and do math or something, or become like some of those eccentric Russian mathematicians or something. That this one of those guys. He won like the Fields Medal or something, and he lives with his mom. I'd be something like that. To use iOS or Android. I pretty much just use. I don't use any Apple products at all. No, it's a wave. LOL. What steps have you taken to exile Crypto Bros from this chat? Really, I haven't done a lot. There's I think last one of the last streams there was some people kind of shilling some crypto stuff. Mainly I don't want. I think there's some things that are like bots. Lately, it seems to be there's like two bots that'll come in and be like, "Hey, have you heard this thing about XRP or something like that?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like this, you can do this thing with your wallet," and they'll start chatting with each other, and then after the stream is over, I'll just go in and like carefully figure out who's who, and then ban the offending ones. because that's hard to do in real time. The best signal is Reed Solomon. Sig int. What's your favorite Linux command? I actually have a video on that I did recently. If you check my shorts page. Good stuff. Figured I'd ask these questions so everyone can see your work and hear you talk about it. Yeah, it's I guess the live streams are good way to reintroduce people to stuff. It's a strange experience talking with chat, because it's just a random 54 people who are there right now, and I don't know what everyone has seen, so it's a constant job of educating people for the first time. Do you know anyone working in the game industry? I'm a CS undergrad. I want to have some awareness of my choices in industry. I do know at least. Actually, I'm not. I know someone. I know a couple of people who have worked in the industry. I don't not in close contact with anyone anymore who I think works in the industry. From what I understand, it's I think it's one of the industries where the concept of the exploitation of the passionate comes into play a lot, because like a lot of people as kids really like video games, and they're like, I'm going to learn programming so I can make video games like this. And then people come into the industry all bright-eyed, and they're like, this is going to be amazing. We're going to be part of these incredible games. But I guess, well, if you really want to learn about that, Pirate Software, he's the much bigger streamer who has many years in it. I know almost nothing about the game industry other than it does not have a great reputation of being a great place to work. I made a 3D box moving around using WASD and Godot. Proud of myself. Figured it out using the wiki. Yeah, I mean, that's a great place to start. Once you get the confidence to do that, then you can start adding some more stuff in, and then slowly it becomes more and more functional. Do you know anyone working in? Okay, same comment. Good luck, Robert. Thank you. Simple games you can play quickly and often repeatedly go under the radar. Yeah, there's so many games now that it's also like everything. Marketing is a really big component of success in pretty much anything now, but especially for games. Living with your mom is underrated. Yeah, if you have a decent relationship with your parents, then it's a great way to save money. We got our first new channel member from Fort Jables. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the channel. So we're 50% to our goal now. Not sure if it was just a meme, but I read someone posted their seminars in Pornhub and made more money. Yeah, I'm familiar with that creator. She had a viral video about stopping her PhD to pursue an alternate career path, and had success in doing that. And it's not super surprising, actually. Keep up the great whatever this is. I will. Totally random question. But that dance club you talked about at UW, was it Ballroom? It was killing me watching your video because I had the exact same experience. Yes, actually, there was. I don't know if we had the same instructor. It depends when you graduated, but there was I took ballroom and Latin dancing. It was like $80 or something to sign up for this course. And I remember actually at the end of the course, the the instructor, she said she was actually she was quitting. That would be her last time teaching there, because she was going to France to stay with her daughter, who had like an illness or something. She was a nice lady. I think a fair number of us are trying to be in games. My experience has mostly been as a hobby. I would kind of prefer it that way. It's hard to get in. Yeah, it's one of those things where I think you would want to like look up. Yeah, if you really want to get into like game development professionally and work in that as a career, Pirate Software. He worked in the industry and knows tons about that. So that you really like a lot of people will say that a certain career, so and so such and such career path is a scam. You should do this instead. But I think the actual reality is that as the economy is getting more like inefficient and predatory, like literally every career path is a scam, and so you have to figure out like how does the scam work in your career path, and so you can avoid being on the short end of things. Have you heard of all the Pirate Software drama recently? I saw something about like he was raiding with some people in World of Warcraft, and then he like tried to run away. Or it's not I don't have the time to dig into it more than that. If you start off for casual games, as around in Europe operates game distribution, which allows you to monetize your first games. Yeah, I don't know anything about that aspect of the industry. Hello, Robert. Just finished your hour-long entrepreneurship general life retrospective and its update, and found both to be thoughtful and informative. Yeah, hopefully, my hope is some people will watch that and gain some nuggets of wisdom from it and optimize their career. Pirate Software didn't help out his team in World of Warcraft. It didn't take accountability after that. There was a lot of negativity surrounding him. Yeah, it's I think we have more important problems in the world right now than to focus on people not supporting each other in that World of Warcraft raid. Oh yeah, that's some nice terminal PRN. Will you consider doing a video mocking crypto stuff by exposing their technical and social contradictions using your expertise? I actually was thinking about doing a video like, I've actually, with my videos blowing up, I have seen a decent number of like random people on Twitter and like clipping my videos and putting my face in and be like, because, you should definitely buy this stupid cryptocurrency. This guy agrees. And it's not really like, they're not really using my brand, but I think it's only a matter of time before I see someone doing stuff like that, saying like, Robert Elder endorses this thing, therefore you should buy it. And I want to do a video, hopefully get a video out there to like state my opinion. Like if you see, so at some point I probably will, it's an idea I have, I don't know if I'll get there. I'll probably do some kind of a like a joke thing, like selling something. I will, sell or do something to try to get money related to like a joke related to crypto. But I will never be doing like an actual, like a real cryptocurrency. It's just, it blows my mind how people still are doing these like rug pull cryptocurrency things, and like people buy into it and lose all this money. And I'm sure in the meantime there'll be other people who put my face on some stupid coin or something and try to get a bunch of money. I tried the Ballroom Club 2010, but I gave up after like 2 classes. Anyway, just thought it was a super funny coincidence. Good luck out there. Yeah, 2010. Actually, that we might have maybe you were even there. Maybe we were at the same. Maybe we went to the same lessons. Yeah, I think it would have been 2010. Is Scoogie a bot? I don't know. Everyone could be a bot these days. Thor's all right, but take what he says with a grain of salt. He was at Nepo hire, and he got his fair share of drama. It's quite motivational, though. Grant him that. Yeah, I mean, even you should take what everyone says with a grain of salt. But I think if anyone knows like how the scam works of these companies, then it's probably someone like him. Do you have a stigma against traditional 9 to 5? Clearly, intelligence, you could easily get a job to pay your time living costs, or you're chasing a specific dream. I'm trying to pursue a business, and I've not gone bankrupt. I have not yet completely run out of money yet, and my business is still going. I still pay my taxes. I still do my government filings. So I'm going to keep doing that, and whenever I find things that work and that grow, then I'm going to do more of them. And I mean, honestly, I think this like streaming, YouTube, all that kind of stuff, for the amount of effort that I put into it and for what comes back out of it, this really seems like the direction to go in. Is that online independent media just seems like the future. Like the fact that there's 58 people watching the stream right now, and I published a video last night, and it's got at least like 50,000 or so. So it's it's working. So I'll just keep doing that, and then all I need is something that has exponential growth to continue for a little while. And I wasted a lot of time on the consulting stuff because it seemed like there was exponential growth initially, but then that growth just kind of dried up. I would do a contract, and it seemed like, oh, this is going to really work out, and it's going to start to grow, and people would like. It was always the first invoice was easy to get paid, but then after that, things would, it start being late after that. I work in crypto. Please feel free to ask questions about the tech. I don't have any questions at this point. We aren't all scammers working our ass off to try and build through the noise. There is vision. I got super into Bitcoin back in like 2011 to 13. But the problem is there's the concentration of scammer. Like there's the basic idea is so powerful. I think that's why what pulls so many people into it. But it's like the pull is so much that it also pulls in like everything fraudulent and scammy and stuff like that. But I think the natural course is that like if good people go into that, they will eventually realize like, oh man, the concentration of like scammers and unethical behavior is just like there are ethical people who are attracted to that stuff, but it's like universally true. Anyone who's trying to do the bad stuff in society and steal and scam and stuff sees like Bitcoin and rug pulls, and they're like, oh man, this is exactly what I need. Bots can use this language. Yeah, Robert Eldercoin. I will never be. I'll probably do like some kind of a joke, something like crypto related. That's a joke, but it'll probably be like a physical product, so not an actual like, because all these blockchains are just like they copy and paste some existing thing, and rugs are the bane of our existence. The problem is it's just so many people keep coming into it, and then they're like, oh, I'll be open-minded about this, and then they just instantly get scammed. And like the fees are supposed to be lower, but they're high. They're like worse than credit card fees. And when it started out, crypto started out, it was going to be about microtransactions, but you don't hear people talk about that at all now. really can't do worse than Trump coin at this point. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't know why do people keep falling for this stuff? Like someone comes out with a coin and then it just instantly goes down, like with 100% certainty. And if you have like a Bitcoin and stuff, if the exchanges get hacked and the money gets lost, and you could pursue legal action if you choose. I can accept when the U.S. press does it. It's kind of wrecked. I think there are a lot of people. There are a lot of real like genuine and ethical people who get sucked into that environment, but the concentration of just unethical behavior is just too high. And I think anyone who goes into that will eventually realize that it's just it's too much. It's associated with too many bad people, and then kind of churn out. Do you fear going homeless? I mean, in my undergrad, I had lots of trouble finding housing. Worst case scenario, I'll move all my stuff in storage and go visit with some family for a while. If we squint your eyes from a distance, your current game screen looks like an orca. Oh yeah, it does. It's true that eventually Bitcoin mining will not be profitable and Bitcoin will die. Yeah, there's so many issues with like blockchains forking and predatory fee structures and the government cracking down on it. And you're 100% right. Concentration of scammers in crypto. Yeah, I actually went to some crypto meetups around here to I had some specific questions about it. I was thinking about using Bitcoin for something, and I asked this guy about what would be like the commands or the software stack to actually do a certain thing with crypto, with Bitcoin. He's like, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to talk about that in the talk, and then he didn't talk about it at all. And then after the talk, I asked him about it, and he's like, oh, I've never actually used it, but this other guy knows a lot about it or something. I'm like, why just waste my time? And during the meeting, everyone there was a guy who almost looked like a homeless person or something, and he was like, oh, we're going to use Bitcoin to disrupt the government and stuff, and we're going to replace the banks and stuff, and we're going to build new societies. And that's just the concentration of crazy people and scammers and stuff. It's just there's way too much noise. It's absolutely overwhelming. I would actually go more into if I was really passionate about that, I'd just go into build software for the actual U.S. government for fraud detection and go all in on the U.S. dollar. I feel like NFTs and crypto. Oh yeah, I forgot about NFTs. Nobody talks about NFTs anymore, but it's just so predictable. It's all just a rug pull. Honk to a coin. That's just, it's ridiculous. Over and over with people again. People get scammed. Vibes around it are so predatory. Certainly blockchain cosmetics and collectibles. A popular YouTube named Jaybreak sells this coin as physical object like merch. Yeah, I would, if I do a crypto thing, it'll be an actual physical, just a nonsense thing. So I will never be, it'll never be one of those, because I think 99% of these altcoins, they're just they copy and paste someone has a repo somewhere, or I think there's actually, what's it called, pump.fun or something, where you click a button and you instantly do a rug pull. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing any of that kind of stuff. I became a crypto last year. Best choice I ever made. Good for you, I guess. The fees are more or less a solved problem now. Some neat cryptographic operations. We're in a lot of cases sub 1 cent fees. what about Bitcoin? Are Bitcoin fees still high? I remember them being like a few percent still. I think they fall for it because it's rooted in emotion rather than logic. Yeah, I think it's people are just trying to, people know it's a pump and dump, and they're like, maybe if I can just buy it and pump it to someone, buy it on the way up and pump it to someone else, but then within 2 hours it's like down 99%. And there's all this shady practices about like pre-selling the coins and stuff. I was just watching your Rich video. Nice to see you live. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm better than now that the YouTube revenues come through. How many is he at? How many is he at? I'm at 1 new channel member, so I got 1 more to go. I will say, however, that the culture around developers and public figures is vastly different. But I can only speak for Ethereum. Not sure about Bitcoin. Yeah, I think a lot of the public figures don't even know what they're doing. Someone just shows up and they're like, I think in a lot of cases the actual public figures are victims as well. Someone explains to them, they're like, oh, everyone's doing this. Robert, since you're good at coding, make sure to put some Valentine's Day idea that someone can quickly code for their loved ones to gift. I don't know. There's lots of content I have on the docket for the next while. Valentine's Day is only a couple days away. I think it might go viral. NFTs aren't a rug pull. It's a token standard for non-fungible ownership of technically anything. Yeah, actually, I had NFTs are not. I'm unlikely to do any content on that. I'm going to screenshot your NFTs. The tech itself is neither good nor bad. It's just ownership. Terminal thingy looks like a bird. That's why I clicked. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I haven't. I guess I could play it a little bit more. It broke. What's going on? It was on the wrong keys or something. Let's see. Are you rich now? Not that rich, but I'm working on it. Bitcoin fees very high, but they're not denominated in percent. Bitcoin isn't really used for anything at scale. Yeah, that's one of my main criticisms. Bitcoin is one of the most valuable ones, but like no one uses it for anything. I remember back in 2014, everyone was talking about how wow, Bitcoin is everywhere. You can like buy stuff with Bitcoin now, and they were adding it as a payment option, and like then they removed all that a few years later because like literally no one uses it to buy anything. People use it, it's supposed to be as an investment. But then what happens when like the blockchain forks, or when we have multiple Bitcoins? And I've drawn stuff and had people ask if they can make NFTs with them. In a broad market sense, I'm not for it though. The goal is to make money rather than owning something cool to flex. Yeah, it made money for a while, like when the government was printing lots of money. again, the high inflation and stuff like that, people were, we could, it also coincided with like the collecting, card games and stuff like that. The value for cards was really crazy during that period. But then now that times are tough, there's nobody spends money on that stuff anymore. I had a question, if possible. In your video, you spoke about rent control and problems living in consolidated apartments in Ontario. I'm not Canadian, so IDK, if that's a regional issue or nationwide. The issue is, so currently you're only allowed to raise rents like 2% a year or something. You can apply for an above guideline increase. And so I've only lived here like 7 years, and my rent goes up every year, but it only goes up to 2%. And for a while, the market rate was up to $2,400 in this building, but then now it's down a bit more to like I think like 17 or 1,800 or something. And there was a business model with my landlord was using to just buy up buildings and then just like immediately issue N13 eviction notices, say like, oh, we need to evict you because we're gonna repair all this stuff. And by getting people to leave, once the unit's vacant, you can list it for market rate. You don't have to wait, however many years. You can just go from what my rent was, which is about $1,100, and just raise it right up to $2,400, which was pretty lucrative at the time, but it's not as lucrative at the moment. Never was a company named Blockchainus. Missed opportunity. You're totally right. I don't understand Bitcoin either, but to be frank, it's not the whole space. Yeah, I mean, I've already gotten into it years ago. I made a little bit of money on Bitcoin, and then I was trading cryptocurrencies back in 2013 or so. That was or 2014, I think, for a bit. And I made some money, or I made some money in my trading accounts for crypto. Then eventually, I had my money, all my crypto was on like 4 different exchanges, and they all got hacked, and everything went away. And it's just so much nonsense associated with like almost every single person that I meet who's really into it is I can't take them seriously. It's 5:42 a.m. and I'm sleeping now. Bye-bye. All right, have a good night. Your CPU vid is phenomenal. Didn't realize that was you when I was watching your 37-year-old broke loser video. Yeah, those are my top 2 videos at the moment. I'd like to do more of the how to make a CPU video, but it's just not enough hours in the day. Thanks for a recent viral video. You seem to have things going on well. Though I see you have a bunch of prior videos. What's helped you keep making them and getting into the routine of doing so? Yeah, I mean, YouTube has been like a side thing I've been doing for a while now. And in business, you always have to do exploratory stuff. So you just do a bit of something and see if it works. And the YouTube has kind of been growing slowly in the background, and it's been recently, especially with that most recent video, it's kind of really picked up. And I think it may actually go across the threshold now where it's that can actually pay the rent reliably. And for at least the last year or so, it's the money coming in has been more reliable than the consulting work, and it makes sense that it would be for now. It looks more sustainable. And the other really big thing I like about it is I can just make videos about anything, and I can basically use YouTube as a way to market anything else that I want. So it's not just about the revenue. There's also I think it's a very good segue into marketing other types of business stuff as well, and also just for testing out ideas, because one of the really difficult things, the underestimated things about business, people don't realize is just getting data. So like, for example, there's 71 people here right now. I could ask you guys about, like, for example, I could say, hey, would you guys, in this menu here, some people sponsored to get their own block type added to the game, and there's some credits down here. So yeah, so there's a dedication for the block type. So I think I was charging $20 for you can get a block type added forever. And so next Kickstarter again, I'll probably do you can have a block type added to the game forever, dedicated to you. And so I could ask right now, how many people here would pay $20 on a Kickstarter campaign to have a new block type dedicated to you? So if I ask that question, I will actually get some responses in the chat, probably. And if I have 77 people here now I can actually get feedback and data. Whereas if there's nobody watching, then or if you set some ads or something like that, or post on a forum, you might get like no information. So I got a yes, I got an I would, and there's actually some, you're getting some information back. Or if someone says, so if I sub the stream ends, yes, and that'll put me to my goal of two new members for the stream. But yeah, that's the other aspect of why I think YouTube is valuable, is just getting the feedback about, or I can also compare stuff. So for example, I could say like, should I have sponsored block types, or I don't know, there's other things or recipes or something. So you could have new block types, or you could add you could have a recipe dedicated to you, and then I could say which do you guys like more. But if you don't have enough eyeballs on whatever, it's hard to actually get data. Okay, missed a bunch of chats. Okay, so we got Ethan Willis is our newest member, so that means we're at our goal. So this stream has concluded, and I guess we'll be back next week to try for 4 new members. So thank you very much to Ethan Willis, the newest member.